Jack, you're recording a little late.
Yeah, I mean, like, please, should we just like hand over or
Yes, everybody ask a question. We gotta get the ball rolling. How do I become staff here? Okay. There are no themes for questions. You don't have to have a theme for questions. So first of all, before applying for a staff position, I would spend some time getting to know the server, getting to know its like, you know, how promotional sessions work, how role transfers work, just generally how the server functions before applying to staff. And then every once in a while, an application will open for a department. It's most of the time it's administration. Administration applications open a lot, and becoming an admin is a good way to eventually rank up to a higher role that's an EB. So when an application opens, as long as you have the employment ping on, then you will be notified and you can apply for that position. So good question. Thank you for asking. While we wait for more audience questions, Brown, what's your favorite part about being an staff in CBI, an admin?
mm, that's a good question. Um, being able to ban people.
that's that's such
I'm just
amazing
kidding, just kidding,
advice.
just kidding.
That's such okay. I have a question
Actually,
from
it will be
Chloe.
like responsibility behind the role. Like,
So, how do I get a promo? That's a good question. So at CBI, we will occasionally have promotional sessions. They will be announced in game, and they're usually announced with the session ping as well in the sessions channel. When a promotional event or promotional session starts, you will usually have about 30 minutes to an hour to prove your skills and your medical knowledge to administrators. And if you do so, then you will receive a promotion. If you ever are handling a case and you really want to be observed for a promo, you are always free to use the mod call command, which is !mod, to request a moderator to observe you. And another question from Janet. Do you love your job? If so, what is the most crucial part of your job? I do love my job. My job at CBI is the light of every single day. And I know that sounds probably kind of dramatic, but it really is. And the most crucial part of my job is staying connected with people, keeping people updated, and checking applications, checking board exams, checking to make sure that DoDs are checking board exams, keeping all the staff in line, just generally keeping up with things and regulating things. That is what the most crucial part of being a CMO is, in my opinion.
uh, Jeanette asked, uh, my user, what made you choose this job as an administrator? Um, I like the way I must like administrators. I must like that role. It's just when I join this server, first thing I see is moderators and administrators, which is my best Uh, for me, the best route. And when I saw it was open to apply, I just applied, and I'm here right now.
I will answer. Yes, I did answer your question, Jeanette. Um, Natalie asks, Avery, is Boris your friend? Yes, Brown is my friend. I consider him my friend. It's very fortunate, yes.
She can't imagine her life without me.
I don't know. Uh, Brown, do you consider me your friend? Oh, bless you.
Just kidding. Yes, yes. Of course.
Natalie asks if you consider me your friend.
Yes, yes, of course, of course.
Okay, okay. Yes, I did answer Jeanette's question, but that's okay. Um, at the end of the podcast, at least half of it will be posted in in
Yeah,
the
we do have progress making the full podcast. We
yeah, in the
right
logs.
now.
At least half of the podcast will be logged. We're still working on finding out a proper long-term way to record all of the sessions, so or all of the podcast episodes. So sometimes it may be delayed, or the log may start a little bit later. Jeanette asks, would you still pick the same job if you started over? Yes, I would. Um, the thing about that is I didn't really start at the bottom. I was directly hired into this position. And I was very fortunate to have that opportunity. Um, and I don't really interpret that as like jumping the line hearsay or I just I think that if I started over and I was offered the position, I would take it every time in every single lifetime.
Oh God, we have some. Oh my God.
Does anybody else have any other
Well,
questions for Brown or me?
Jack, I saw what you deleted.
Right. Well, this is a new player survival guide, so if any of you guys have questions that may be essential for a new player to know, then please ask those.
Don't be scared. We aren't biting. Maybe.
That's not. it's not. A,
Oh yeah,
it's not a question for this
this is
topic.
this is absolute relevancy here. Yes, I love to travel.
Irrelevant, but okay. What advice would I give someone who wants my job? Um, First of all, it's my job. No, I'm joking. uh, what advice would I give someone who wants to have my job in the future? Um, I would tell them I really have to think about this. Brown, do you
You
have
want me
anything
to
on that
answer
on that
my
question?
thinking. What advice would you give someone who wants your job? First, I ain't giving my job. Second, good luck. Third, you need to have a lot of responsibility and um, what? the word in English. You need to have a lot of passion and patience for this job because uh, it's about time you give for the CBI. The more time you give, the better, uh, the more CBI gives you back. So just give everything you have, and you will get back the most of it.
I think that from my perspective, the advice that I would give someone who wants to eventually become CMO is you have to learn to pace yourself, which may be redundant because I talk about that a lot. But I have issues with pacing myself from time to time. I will take on a ton of tasks that need to be done, and then I find myself overwhelmed because I can't finish them all. So I would say to someone who eventually wants to become CMO, um, work hard, do a lot of studying on medical topics, try to keep yourself knowledgeable. Um, Even if you think that you already know all there is to know, I promise that you don't. There's always, always more to learn. Um, and pace yourself to be role. So that's an important skill to have.
Yay! Applause! Applause!
Does anybody else have any other questions for either of us?
We need questions, guys. Screen time.
We would love questions. We do have an outro ready, but
Oh,
do you wanna answer that question first, Brown?
yes. What isn't meant to judge someone? You mean in game or on Discord?
I think either, like just in general.
Well, Troll skin, obviously. General. Um, maybe rude talking or like trolling skin or profile, like something that you could clearly see that isn't in spot.
I think that from my perspective, something that instantly makes me judge someone is a lack of humility. Many a time I have seen someone say on an application for anything, which almost all of my applications that I've made for different roles in all of my servers have two questions in common, which is what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses. And uh, occasionally I will get an application where on the weaknesses side it says I don't have any or something along those lines. That is what instantly makes me judge someone is a lack of humility. Everyone has weaknesses. If you claim to
Yes,
have no weaknesses, then that's a lack of humility. And
that's something.
that's something that humility, yes, that's something that makes me judge someone right off the bat. So, what are my weaknesses? Oh, that's a good question. Make sure you're asking Brown questions after this too. Um,
No weaknesses.
my weaknesses, I would say, um, I don't trust anyone but myself to do my job. I say that all the time, and I do think that that's one of my shortcomings. Is I feel like you know I have unrealistic expectations of other people when it comes to how they do their jobs because other people make mistakes just like I do. So
Thank
um,
God you do have it for me.
I have a tendency to be harder on other people. So that's just one thing. But
Except me,
another thing
I'm
is
accepted.
what was that?
Nothing. Just a bit.
Okay. I would say that another one of my weaknesses is I'm not very patient. I'll see a ticket that's been open for, a little while, and the person who is handling the ticket hasn't responded to the person in the ticket for like an hour or so, not that long. And I get
Long.
a really bad urge to ping them and say, "Come look at the ticket, dude. They're waiting for you." I get really
Same.
impatient with like anything. So that's another one
I
of my
think it's
weaknesses or
actually the
shortcomings.
nerves. Like it's our short nerves. I think like you just have the patience to wait for them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much patience in general. If you want to answer that question from Jeanette, bro.
Yes. What's something that you need to make someone cool to you? Maybe like open, like chill and professional way of talking. Uh, they give respect. Like I mean, it happens a lot of times to me that someone says like sir or Mister. Okay, Mister is like less, but most of the times like they come like sir, can you like pay something or and that automatically gives me the respect for them because they give respect to me and most of the time still people too like the ones who like ones who made you feel chill like you can laugh with them, you can make jokes with them. You just think that they make me look cool.
Um,
Your turn, Avery.
yeah, something that immediately makes someone cool to me. Um, I don't know if I would use the word cool, but something that makes me appreciate or like someone immediately is if they ask questions. Um, because a lot of people uh will kind of struggle with something and not ask questions. But it's very important to ask questions. It doesn't make you look unknowledgeable because asking questions is how you get knowledge. So yeah, asking questions. Um, Asking questions is cool, guys. Always
Yeah,
always
we should
ask
do it
questions
too.
to leadership. If you have genuine confusion about something or curiosity about something, I promise you that nobody in leadership is going to be mad at you for asking a question. Ask any questions. Um,
Yes,
question from Jack. What made you start this podcast?
this was started by joke. This was actually started by joke. Like on the rooftop for the promotions in game, there is that table with two seats, and we both happened to sit there, and Avery said like this looks like podcast, and it clicked in my head. Let's call it podcast. And
Yeah,
around the jokes,
it was
it
like
came here.
it's not. I think it was like a rectangular table, and there was like two microphones at it, and we were
Yeah,
like
yeah,
sort of like facing each other, and we both sat down before a promo session, and I said, "This looks like a podcast setup." I think that
yeah.
Brown
And
texted me like the next day and said, "Hey, we should start a podcast," and I thought he was joking, and I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." No, we actually have a podcast. Oh,
okay,
another question from Jeanette. You should answer that one first, bro.
yeah. Oh, I should. Okay, okay. Do you think you're becoming the person you wanted to be? Yes. I got in medical school, which was my favorite. I'm becoming the person I want and not the person my parents want. That's uh success for me. Like, let's keep the metric. Like, yeah, every intro.
I definitely think that I'm becoming the person that I wanted to be. Um, I have my CNA and I'm in the works to get my CCMA certifications. Um, I'm BLS certified, Stop the Bleed certified, which is just certified to use a tourniquet. I have so many accomplishments that make me feel like I am becoming the person who I want to be. But accomplishments and awards aren't everything. I think that the main reason that I know that I'm becoming who I want to be is because people look up to me. So that's all on that question.
Okay, I got a question for nurse management Maldives. If you could be director or senior director of a specific department of CPI, what would you do to make organization? First, I will be EMT, of course. It's the best department. Second, uh, this was question for one applications I did recently, and I will answer the same. So like host daily daily quizzes, make sure my department is experienced and has the at least minimal knowledge, but preferably a lot of knowledge for that department. Uh, Making sure everyone is following rules like year two only can drive ambulances. I mean year two and plus, um, and preferably like year three, four, or five leading the cases. Like I think it just needs to have the experience for the EMT to be. That's my question.
um, Jack, I'm not answering that question. We're skipping. We're gonna skip
Okay.
to Christopher's question. Um, what do admins look for when choosing to promote or recommend someone? Do you need prior medical experience in order to rank up, or is there always a chance to learn as you rise through the years? So the whole reason why we have promotions is so people can learn experience, so people can gain experience, learn from it, and use that information to eventually rank up. Um, our interns and our year twos and even year threes look up to our fellows and attendings and year sevens in different departments. So um, I believe that you don't need prior medical experience in order to rank up. Um, all you need is good tutors, and you need to be able to retain information quickly, and you need to be able to express that you have been able to complete those things. So that's what we look for when choosing to promote someone. And my answer to if we need prior medical experience to rank up.
Okay. I'm answering too.
Yeah.
Uh, the admins are more open to the like already experienced staff because like they trust them and they know their role is doing good. But we are open to the year ones too. But we are how do I say it? I mean everyone has a fair chances of the winning promotion. But like it's have slightly less chances for the year ones to become to be promoted because uh we don't know what experience they have, what knowledge they have on their department. That's why we have like we watch people do. We watch they go like, if they're EMT. We watch the procedures on the case. If they're surgeons, we watch what are the main surgeons saying and do they listen? Do they have good ideas? And um, like prior experience isn't needed, but it's good for you if you have the earlier experience. And if you do good, if you show good knowledge and if you show hard work, uh, you are gonna get promoted. No, any rank you will get promoted if you just show hard work and knowledge.
Um. Okay, sure. I'll answer this one. A bit irrelevant, but who's your favorite person in CBI? Everyone. I can't pick one. Everyone's my
Me,
favorite.
me, me,
Every single,
me for
every single presidential board member to every single last player to every last one to every last year one.
of
Everybody
course
in the
it's
service is
me.
my favorite. All of them.
Just wanna say it's
Everybody.
me. It's I'm her favorite.
No, I'm not. You're not my favorite. I'm joking.
Oh, so we're
Everyone's my
gonna
favorite.
pick like
Okay, including you. Everyone's my favorite. Everyone's my favorite.
why?
Um, even if they aren't your one, yes. Even if they like just joined the server and they've never played, yes, they're all my favorites. Okay. Jeanette, we're not answering that. Do you think
You're the boss.
Jeanette is cool? If so, it made her cool. Yes, Jeanette, you're cool because you work very hard.
I mean, Jeanette, like no hate, but we're skipping a question. Like, sorry, but I mean,
Okay, we have
no,
a good question.
we're not. Um, okay, another question for Jeanette. What's the first thing a new player always gets wrong? I mean, like, depends from the department to department, but for I have two, like, obviously surgical. Like, if you only knew how much malpractice I saw for this period of time, I am an administrator. Like, year one just comes and, hello, I'm gonna host a surgery now, and uh, patient services, which is like confusing for the name because why wouldn't we put receptionist, but uh, we put patient services, and it's confusing for players because they like go be with medical interns and nurses, and like when I stop them telling it's not what they say what I'm supposed to do, like it's just confusing the name of the role. Okay,
My
that is
turn.
my question now. Yeah, your turn.
Okay. The first thing that a new player always gets wrong. Um, I should have been thinking about this while you were answering it. Um, I think that you mentioned something about like interns deciding to start a surgery without supervision. If you are not a year 3 or higher, in any department, except for patient services and sometimes nursing, you need explicit approval by or you need supervision from a year 3 or higher, or from an admin to perform any complicated procedures, which includes anything surgical. Um, if
Oh, I
you're,
forgot about. Oh, sorry.
it's okay. If you are an EMT, if you are a member of the EMS department, you cannot drive ambulances if you are not a year 3 or higher. If you are a surgeon, you cannot perform surgery on your own without supervision if you are not year 3 or higher. Um, Medical, you cannot call a time of death or perform any complex procedures without your 3 plus supervision. And the complex procedures goes for nurses as well. Um, so the first thing that a new player always gets wrong is jumping straight into operations and procedures and driving ambulances, which they are not permitted to do. Which is okay because we are we're very forgiving about that. We just let them know and move on with our day. So that's something that new players always get wrong. And quick question from Jack: What should year ones do since they are the most restricted? I assume that's what that question means. Um, Year ones should observe. They should shadow higher roles, and most of all, year 3s or higher. That's my advice for what your ones should do. Brown, I'll let you answer
Next
this one.
question.
Budget.
Oh, um, what's the most important role newbies in learn? Like PP or like, oh my god, like for the promotion side. And it specifically says for the CBI staff to come to the rooftop. I see like 10 players come up the rooftop and we have to remove them all. I just like the control of the building and um if they ignore PPE too and sometimes they ignore when I just come to them and like they're practicing until like stop like I have two people who argue like, oh my god, this man is dying, like I can't just stop, like just avoid the case. It's not that hard.
Um,
Yeah,
the
friend.
most important rule newbies ignore. Um, we've already talked about PPE, so PPE for sure. But to do with the promotional sessions, this isn't necessarily the most important rule. But if you haven't been dismissed from a promotional session, then don't like leave the rooftop. if you haven't been dismissed, then don't just walk away because most of the time after a promotional session, we'll have a couple announcements, and we'll do a group photo up on the helipad. So that's always very nice. Um,
Yeah.
and you can go ahead and answer that second question, bro.
What should the new player focus on first? Winning or learning? Um, well, I want to say both, but if I say both or winning, I'm getting fired. So learning, learning is my first thing. Focus on like because if you learn, you're gonna win. If you're winning, it's there are the less chance you're gonna learn something. So like learning because you will get an experience which you can use on other servers and most of the things in real life too. Like everything I learned from the medical school, I use for the EMT because it's like simulating real life, which is actually helping me study. So learning over the reading. Your turn, Avery.
What should a player focus on first, winning or learning? Definitely learning. I I would never tell anyone to focus on winning. It's not the this is gonna be a really cringy saying that everyone's heard at least once in their life, but it's not about the destination, it's about the journey to get there. Uh
Ooh, yay!
in medical roleplay, you pick up knowledge. You learn new things every day, and that's the most beautiful part about these communities is that you have the opportunity to learn something that you would otherwise have to go to a university for or study on your own or study in a way that's much less fun. So so learning definitely is what a new player should focus on first. Um, I believe that that's all of our questions. We can maybe squeeze in a couple more if anybody else has any questions. Anybody can ask a question. Anybody.
Don't be scared. We aren't biting.
We'll accept one more after this one. Brown question down there.
What's your stop doing this immediately? Advice for newbies. Stop driving ambulances at year one or stop doing surgery at year one. Please. Okay, I'm just kidding. Like stop like trolling. Like please stop trolling. It's not fun. It's like it maybe looks like fun, but it's like just taking admin's time and everyone else's time just for you so you can come and like disrupt the roleplay. Your turn, Avery.
Yeah, for sure. The rules on things that only year threes or higher can do. That for sure. But also, malpractice. If you're not sure about something, then don't do it. Nobody's gonna judge you for looking something up if you don't know it, unless you're like a year 5 or a year 6.
We will kill
If
you.
you
We will
if you
fire you from your sport.
we're not going that far, but if you don't know something, then it's okay to ask someone. Even if you're a year 3, if you don't know something, ask a superior because that's what they're there for, is to help you. There is no shame in not knowing something, but there is shame in not knowing something and not asking for help.
Don't be like me. Learn things. Okay, I ask.
Okay, go go ahead and ask your question. This will be the last question that we're taking of the session before we do our outro of
Well,
the
that's
podcast.
sad.
I meant. So, last question. What is a professional skill you are most proud of?
Avery, you go first.
I might. Hmm. Well, I don't like bragging on myself. I don't. I don't like bragging on myself, which kind of ties in to what I would say I'm most proud of is um my ability to most of the time stay cool under pressure. I'm gonna be honest. I think I've snapped at someone maybe 2 times in my whole like almost 2 months of working here. I I get very crowded and stressed sometimes. And when that happens, I just step away for a moment and take a breather and remember that um that it'll be fine. So the professional skill that I am most proud of is my ability to keep my cool most of the time.
Okay, my turn, I guess. What's a professional skill you are most proud of? This podcast, like when I apply for the higher roles, I say, "Oh yeah, I have a podcast in CBI. You should go and watch it every Sunday at 11 p.m. CST."
I don't think
I'm
that's a
just kidding. I'm just
professional
kidding. I'm
skill,
just.
bro.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. My professional skill, my ability to have like fun and chill tone, but still look professional. Like most of the times, like I talk with people, I joke with them, and when I see the logs, I see the messages I said like 2 weeks ago. I look very professional. I look like like someone who is representing CBI and someone who is being there. You can talk to and not like judge you or something. Cool, yeah, well.
Okay. So that's all the questions that we're gonna be taking for today. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to our outro. So that wraps up today's CBI survival guide.
We hope this episode helped out some of our newer members, or honestly, even returning members who still somehow get lost in the hospital.
No judgment.
Okay, maybe a tiny bit of judgment.
Before we end, we wanted to mention that our planned guest, Sophie, unfortunately couldn't make it today.
Life happens, and we hope she joins us in the future.
We're definitely hoping to have her join us in a future episode because we had some really good questions planned.
So, Sophie, if you're listening, no pressure.
A little pressure.
Avery,
kidding. Mostly.
Anyway, thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Kenya Bay International Podcast.
We hope today gave newer members a better idea of how to succeed in CBI.
Stay active, stay professional, ask questions.
And maybe don't ask for executive board after being here for 6 minutes.
Please.
Please.
We got more episodes coming soon. Department spotlights, leadership talks, future guests.
And probably a little chaos too.
Professional chaos, of course.
The CBI way.
Until next time,
Stay professional.
stay kind, and we'll
we'll
see you around CBI. Yeah. I got you.
Okay, cue the outro music.
I got you this time. Yeah, a round of applause. Yay. Yay.
Outro
Applause.
music time.
That will be it for this podcast. I'm gonna play some outro music until everyone leaves.
If you play that one song, I'm timing you out. I'm banning you. If you play that one song you played earlier, I'm banning you.
Well, prepare your man. I'm timing you out. You're getting timed out, buddy. Oh my god, what is this song?
We're not listening to that.
Okay, I got an outro song.
We're listening to the most peak song ever. We're not listening to Pink Plus Unicorns.
Wait, trust.
No, mute outro music time.
There were plants and birds and rocks and things. There was
What? Oh! We're not listening to this.
You ain't skipping this one.
No, just stop it. How did you immediately skip mine, but I can't skip
dancing on rainbows. Pink fluffy unicorns dancing on rainbows. Pink fluffy unicorns dancing on rainbows. Pink fluffy unicorns
Okay, sure, this is the outro
dancing on
music.
rainbows.
Let's test your knowledge and see what you've learned so far. What color are the unicorns? Pink!
Okay, thank you
Very
everybody.
professional.
Where are they
Podcast.
dancing?
Thank you everyone for joining us today. We hope that you have a wonderful
Please
day.
use one word to describe the texture of their magical fur.
Yeah.
Smile! Yeah!
Pink fluffy unicorns dancing on
Okay,
rainbows.
bye everybody.
Pink fluffy unicorns dancing on rainbows.
Start
Pink fluffy unicorns
Have a good
dancing
day.
on rainbows.